Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the metabolism of prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are synthesized aerobically from polyunsaturated fatty acid, that is arachidonic acid. These prostaglandins are synthesized from polyunsaturated fatty acid, that is called arachidonic acid, or 5, 8, 11, 14 icosa tetraenoic acid. Five, 8, 11, 14 icosa tetraenoic acid. This synthesis is with the help of a multi-enzyme complex. This complex is called as prostaglandin H synthase. Prostaglandin H synthase or PGHS. So, the synthesis of this prostaglandin is with the help of a multi-enzyme complex. This is called as prostaglandin H synthase or PGHS. This complex consists of two components. This complex has two components, cyclooxygenase system and peroxidase system. Cyclooxygenase system and peroxidase system. This PGHS is present as two isoenzymes, PGHS1 and PGHS2. PGHS1 and PGHS2. So let's see the steps in the biosynthesis of prostaglandins. The synthesis of prostaglandins start with the release of acyl hydrolase. Acyl hydrolase, especially phospholipase A2. Phospholipase A2 from lysosomes or cell membrane. So, synthesis of prostaglandins start with the release of acyl hydrolase, especially phospholipase A2 from lysosomes or cell membrane. This enzyme phospholipase A2, it hydrolyzes this membrane phospholipid and it forms lysophospholipid and arachidonic acid. So, membrane phospholipid enzyme is phospholipase A2. This enzyme phospholipase A2 is hydrolyzes membrane phospholipid and it forms lysophospholipid and arachidonic acid. Lysophospholipid and arachidonic acid. This is the rate limiting reaction of this pathway. It requires calcium as cofactor, Ca++ as cofactor. So this arachidonic acid is next converted to prostaglandins by oxidative cyclization. Arachidonic acid is next converted to prostaglandins by oxidative cyclization with the help of cyclooxygenase. It is present in endoplasmic reticulum, microsome and cell membrane. This enzyme system contains oxygenases, then isomerases and reductases. This system requires two molecules of oxygen, then reduced glutathione, that is GSH, and tetrahydrofolate and heme as a cofactor. So this arachidonic acid, it is converted to PGG2. It is converted to PGG2. This is the first formed prostaglandin. This is unstable cyclic endoperoxide. This PGG2, it is an unstable cyclic endoperoxide. This is by the cyclooxygenase system. Cyclooxygenase system of this PGG2. PGHS. So it requires two molecule of oxygen, then heme, then FH4 and GSH. So by cyclooxygenase system, first PGG2 is formed. This PGG2, it is unstable cyclic endoperoxide. Unstable cyclic endoperoxide. So this because this is unstable, it has to be converted to PGH2. It is then converted to PGH2 by peroxidase system. It is converted to PGH2 by peroxidase system. Peroxidase system of this PGHS. This PGH2, it is a precursor of prostanoids, prostaglandins, then PGI2 and thromboxane. This is the precursor, PGH2. Then from the PGH2, the first PG formed is, that is prostaglandin first formed is usually PGE2. First it is formed to it forms PG. First it forms PGE2. PGE2. Sometimes it may be PGD2 or PGF2 alpha. PGD2 or PGF2 alpha. So this PGH2 is the precursor for prostanoids. So first prostaglandin that is formed usually from PGH2 is PGE2. Sometimes it may be PGD2 or PGF2 alpha. Then from this PGH2, PGE2 is formed by the enzyme isomerase. Here the enzyme is isomerase. Here the enzyme is isomerase. To PGD2 also isomerase. Then coming to PGF2 alpha, it is reductase. It is reductase. Then this PGE to PGB or PGA. PGE2 to PGB2 or PGA2. PGA2. This is by dehydrases. This is by dehydrases. Then from this PGA2, PGC2 is formed or PGCs is formed. PGCs. This is by another isomerase. So this is the biosynthesis of this prostaglandins. So by cyclooxygenase enzyme system, first this PGG2 is formed. This PGG2 is unstable cyclic endoperoxide. This PGG2 is converted to PGH2 by peroxidase component of PGHS. This PGH2 is the precursor for prostanoids, that is prostaglandins, PGI2 and thromboxanes. So first prostaglandin that is formed is usually PGE2. Sometimes it may be PGD2 or PGF2 alpha. Then this from this PGH2, PGE2 is formed by the enzyme isomerase. Another PGD2, same enzyme isomerase. Then PGF2 alpha, it is by the enzyme reductase. Then from PGE2, PGB2 and PGA2 is formed, that is by dehydrases. Then from PGA2, PGCs are formed, that is by isomerase. So this enzyme system has oxygenases, isomerases and reductases. This is the biosynthesis of this prostaglandins. Then coming to the inhibitors and stimulants of this prostaglandin synthesis, this phospholipase A2. Phospholipase A2. Stimulants of this phospholipase A2 include angiotensin 2, phospholipase A2 stimulants, angiotensin 2, then bradykinin, Then comes vasopressin, thrombin, then trauma, hypoxia, then epinephrine. This trauma, hypoxia, then angiotensin 2, bradykinin, vasopressin. This all increases prostaglandin synthesis by activating phospholipase A2. Then this catecholamines. This also enhance prostaglandin synthesis by changing inactive cyclooxygenase to active form. Inactive cyclooxygenase to active form by this catecholamines. So these are the stimulants of this prostaglandin synthesis. Coming to the inhibitors, there is one false substrate, that is 5,8,11,14 icosa tetraenoic acid. 5,8,11,14 icosa tetraenoic acid, because the arachidonic acid is 5,8,11,14 icosa tetraenoic acid. So this is the false substrate, 5,8,11,14 icosa tetraenoic acid. This is an inhibitor. Then other inhibitor is mepacrin. It inhibits phospholipase A2. Then glucocorticoids. This completely inhibits transcription of PGHS2. This inhibits transcription of PGHS2. Then aspirin. Aspirin inhibits cyclooxygenase. System. Then Cu++ and dihydrolipoamide. Cu++ and dihydrolipoamide. This inhibits prostaglandin E synthesis. So these are the inhibitors. Glucocorticoids, then NSAIDs, NSAIDs, then aspirin, then brufen, then Cu++, then dihydrolipoamide, mepacrin. These are all inhibitors of this prostaglandin synthesis. So this is about the biosynthesis of these prostaglandins. Coming to the catabolism of this prostaglandins, these prostaglandins are very rapidly removed from circulation. They are metabolized in lungs, brain, liver and other tissues. 80 to 90% is destroyed during a single passage through the liver or the lungs. 80 to 90% is destroyed during a single passage through the liver or the lungs. So this is about the metabolism of prostaglandins. So let's see the functions of prostaglandins. Coming to the functions, PGE2 and PGA2. These are potent vasodilators. Systemic BP generally falls in response to PGE and PGA. Systemic BP falls in response to this PGE and PGA. Then capillary permeability is increased by PGE1, E2 and F1 alpha and F2 alpha. These all increases capillary permeability. Then PGE1, it is a potent inhibitor of platelet aggregation. Inhibitor of platelet aggregation. Then PGE1, then E2 and A1. PGE1, E2 and A1. These all inhibit gastric secretion. Inhibit gastric secretion. Then PGE and F. This produce contraction of longitudinal muscle from stomach to colon. PGE and F. This produce contraction of longitudinal muscle from stomach to colon. Then PGF contract and PGEs relax the bronchial and tracheal musculatures. Then PGE1 and PGE1, E2 and F2 alpha. E1, E2, F2 alpha. These all contracts uterine muscle. Contraction of uterine muscle. These all causes contraction of uterine muscles. Then PGEs inhibit adenyl cyclase enzyme. Adenyl cyclase enzyme. So decrease in cyclic AMP. So decrease lipolysis. This PGEs inhibit adenyl cyclase and lower cyclic AMP level and thus decreases lipolysis. Then PGE and A. This all increases renal plasma flow. Increases renal plasma flow. Then glomerular filtration rate increases GFR. Then increases urinary flow. Increases urinary flow. PGE and A, it increases renal plasma flow. Then increases GFR and increases the urinary flow. Then PGEs, it stimulate renin secretion. Stimulate renin secretion. Then PGD2 is an important mediator of anaphylaxis. Mediator of anaphylaxis, PGD2. Then coming to PGE, this PGEs modulate or decreases functions of B and T lymphocytes. Functions of B and T lymphocytes. So these are the functions of this prostaglandin. So this is about the metabolism and functions of prostaglandins. This is today's topic. Thank you for watching.